This video is for all the real estate agents who want to know how to circle prospect using their Mojo dialer. I've been getting questions about, Adela, how do you have your Mojo set up? What do I do? How do I get started? So this is just going to be click by click, how to step, or how I have Mojo set up and how I use their neighborhood search feature to do my circle prospecting sessions. All right, so this is step one. We are going to go to mojosells.com. You're going to click on sign up now. This will redirect you to a whole page of like pricing, but it really just throws you down here to the bottom. And this is what I have. Step one, it says start here. This is automatic. You are required to get that $10 a month per user. Here is the options of dialers. If you're starting out new and you have no experience cold calling, you're not used to a fast dialer, from my experience, I would start with single line dialer. I did single line dialer for months until I felt comfortable enough and I was starting to get a little bored with a single line dialer. Then I increased it triple line. I would not encourage anyone to start with triple line dialer because you have to get used to the actual interface. So just leave it as a single line dialer. The next option here is the add-on products. I've said this before. I don't pay for sale by owners. I don't pay for expired. I don't pay for absent. None of this. I have in the past. I don't anymore because I primarily circle prospect. And that's the whole purpose of this video, to show you how to do your circle prospecting using their neighborhood search. So just click this button, especially if you're on a budget. It kind of keeps your costs low. So just do this one, neighborhood search. Okay, got it? So let me recap, trying to make it super simple for you. Leave this be, you can't change it. Select single line dialer, neighborhood search. Got it? Okay. All right. So this is what you're going to be looking at. Okay. $148 a month. There's other add-ons. I'm not even going to bring that up because this is where you get started. Hence, get started now button. So this is where you're going to enter all your information. If you have any questions about this, please contact Mojo directly because it is their platform. I'm just giving you guidance as far as like how to get started with their stuff. All right, now that you have your account set up, the second step to this entire process is purchase a phone number through Mojo and whitelist it. I'm going to share my screen, and if you'll notice, I did go ahead and blur out a lot of the information for privacy and security. But nevertheless, you're going to click up here where it says welcome, your first and last name. Drop down menu, you're going to click settings. Over here on the left-hand side, you'll notice it says caller ID / Mojo caller ID. If for some reason you're defaulted to one of these other ones, just click on caller ID. Here, there are two buttons. The one you're going to click on is buy Mojo caller ID. You're going to click that. It is $10 a month. Feel free to read the terms and conditions here, check mark the box, click next. Okay, so this is where you actually fill out the information as far as getting the phone number and whitelisting it. You're going to select the state. I'm just going to put California, and it will give you an entire list of all the phone numbers that they do currently have available. If you want to filter through, you can actually enter the area code. But for example, if you see here, I entered 310, an area in LA, and it says no options. When I first started, my area code was not available, but I didn't let that stop me. I just kept punching in an area code that would at least be closest to where I reside. And then every so often, maybe a couple times in a week, or maybe once a week, I would check to see if it was available, like a new one, because there's so many agents, wholesalers, investors, insurance people, all these different people that are constantly onboarding and changing numbers and quitting or whatever the case may be. So the numbers will usually become available. So I've had it where I didn't have access to my area code. And then over a period of time, I ended up collecting 3 phone numbers with my area code, and I really just like held on to them. But then I realized I wasn't using all 3 because the whitelist feature was pretty great with Mojo. So I let one go because I was like in a scarcity mindset. That's here nor there. But I still do have 2 numbers with my current area code, but I just want to let you know I did not start off that way. I did not let it stop me. So just get one that is closest. And in the future, when you want to check every so often if one becomes available, you want to switch it out. Which really switching it out is you just purchasing a new one and canceling the current subscription to your current one. So let's just grab a phone number just for me showing you. You're going to label it. You can label it whatever you want. Routing number, this is going to be your phone number. So if you do get a call back, it calls your phone. I'm just going to put in a bunch of numbers here. I get so many questions about like, Adela, what should I do? Do what Mojo says. It is their company. Fill it in at what you think fits best, what you feel comfortable. But I will tell you, I get people answering my calls because of my caller ID. They'll sometimes know, oh, are you a real estate agent? I'm like, yeah. They're like, great. I actually wanted to talk to someone. Honest, if you've been watching my lives, you hear it yourself. I get more pickups when there's actual caller IDs. Just hit buy with card and you'll be all set up. Here's a quick little added bonus. I could probably save it to the end, but I figured since we are on the conversation of whitelisting phone numbers with Mojo, and I do have to give credit to David, an agent out in Malibu area, who gave us, and I say us because it was during live stream in our Facebook group, that he shared some of the companies in which you can take it further, whitelist your actual Mojo phone number. I apologize for my scribble, but this one, the bottom one, freecolorregistry.com, is one that I did register my phone number exactly the way I have it whitelisted with Mojo. So that way it's like basically the same information that I'm putting out there publicly regarding my phone number and my cold calling efforts. So these are some of the companies that you can feel free to look up if you want to protect your phone number to make sure it doesn't go into the scam likely or spam or robocall, whatever it may be. All right, so let's get to the third step, which is the neighborhood search, and get your information organized so you can get to calling. All right, let me go ahead and share with you my screen. Again, it is blurred out just for privacy and security, but if you'll notice this blue button right here called neighborhood search, this will be enabled if you have the subscription. So let's go ahead and click on it. Map is going to appear. This is going to be based on your area. This is an example of a neighborhood that I like to do. So for myself, I know that this entire area is called Royal Palm. You can organize it however which way you want, but I like to do it by neighborhood. I do it that way a bit more based on what an appraiser would do. So if I'm selling a single family house in a neighborhood or subdivision or a gated community, then I'm just going to focus on that area. So I'm going to click on free plotting. This is what's going to give me the polygon ability, just like your MLS would. And I'm going to just click, click, click. I'm going to be a little messy here because that button's in my way. And I'm just demonstrating. So like this, and then I'm going to squeeze this in because I don't want that little area. And that's my polygon. That's just free form plotting. I don't like radius. I don't like street search. You can play with it. I'm showing you what I do and how I keep my information organized. In this case, I do single family homes and condos. We don't really have land here unless somebody were to buy a house, knock it down, and then just call it vacant land. But however you want, there's so many filters right here on the left-hand side. Actually, I'll zoom in for you. So here, these are all the options that you can do. It even says how many contacts appeared and how many that you found. So for example, there's 651 homes. This Mojo was only able to get 336. There are several reasons for that. One of the biggest factors, especially here in South Florida, is they may be snowbirds, Canadians. That's my experience with condos. Like one particular building I know has like 50-50 US and Canadians, or just like foreign. So Mojo obviously can't get information from people who live in other countries, and I'm not going to be doing international phone calls. So don't be too concerned if the amount is low here. And then let's just play with this because I'm demonstrating. But I went ahead and got a neighborhood. I did that through the freeform plotting. You can select anything you want on here. There's even this button called additional filters. So in case you wanted to, I know I was playing with this one time during a live, but if you wanted to make sure you're not calling anyone under 300,000, if you're trying to increase your sales, per transaction or get higher price point, maybe you're wanting to, like, say I'm focused on condos and I only want to sell 2-bedroom plus condos and I don't want to do studios or 1-bedrooms, then I would put bedroom there. So there's like little features you can play, but anyways, let's go ahead and click this green button on the bottom. It's called import. You're going to scroll down. Oh yes, I understand. Was it total? Against, sorry. Oh, okay, got it. Yes. Okay, great. Neighborhood search. Here's where you're going to name it. I like naming it the actual neighborhood. So I'm going to say Royal Palm. That way, when I speak to the homeowners, they're like, do you even know where you're calling? I'm like, yeah, I'm calling Royal Palm. They're like, oh, okay. And I'm like, oh, yeah, El Camino Real, because I know the area, Palmetto Park. Then they're like, oh, okay, she's a total local. So click finish import and success. Now let's click on my data. It's going to shoot us over to our list so we can start calling. All right, so we have our list. It says Royal Palm right here. It is highlighted and it says 126 entries. I'm going to click on power dialer. And then from here, you can actually select this button where it says call this list from where I left off. So that way you don't really have to worry about who you called and how many times. This is going to be your actual Mojo number. Of course, this is blurred out for privacy and security, but this will be your default Mojo number. This is where you can select how many dials you want to use. Obviously, yours is going to be reflecting 1 for now, and then you can decrease or increase the amount of rings. My preference is 5, but I will say I have toggled and played with 6 rings or 7 rings. The way I see it is as long as it reaches a voicemail, because sometimes people take their time to get to their phone before they answer it. And sometimes they're looking at it, debating like, do I answer? Do I not? For myself, 5 rings seems to be just perfect. And then you just click on Start Power Dialer. And then here it's going to verify the information. Again, it's blurred out, but it's just going to say, hey, we filtered 0 out of 126. Okay, great. That will increase, like, let's say we called 50 people and you click the call from where I left off, then it's going to say filtering 50 out of 126, because it's not going to call all those people all over again that you already called. It's just going to call the remaining. And then you click start dialing and this menu pops up, and then you just dial in, and this is where you have seen me on my lives, where I dial in and I punch in the number and I'm in, and that's it. 3 easy steps plus a bonus. I hope this was helpful. If you are nervous about making calls, struggling to be consistent, feel free to join me on my lives. I know so many people love putting, whether it's an iPad, I've heard iPad, a phone, computer, on their television even, where they just watch a replay so they don't feel alone, because I know the feeling of feeling so alone while you're making cold calls. So if you are struggling with that, feel free to either join my lives, we can get leads together, or you can always watch a replay. I wish you the best. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments, and I will see you guys later. Bye.